Welcome back to Financial Planning in Our Modern World. Today I have Preston Cherry. He holds a master's in financial planning and has a CFP. Hi Preston, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Aaron. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a wonderful morning here in Lubbock, Texas.
It is. It's been hot lately. So 108. I'd like 92 better than 108.
I definitely like it too. So give us a little bit of an intro about yourself.
Well, I'm teaching here at Texas Tech now. So I'm in the PhD program. I teach CFP review classes and also the intro to financial planning. So I've been doing that for 2 years, but it's not my first time at Texas Tech. So in 2006, I was here for my master's degree and I finished that in a year. So I have a master's in financial planning. And then I went out and into the world and started practicing in many different areas. So institutional retirement sales, I did junior financial planning. I did client-facing financial planning where I tried to build my own book. And I did that twice, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So now that I have a virtual financial planning practice and 12 years later, I'm more advanced in my career, obviously. But you don't know what you don't know. And I like the experience of trying to build a book twice. I've been a mutual fund wholesaler, which helped me talk to the firm owners. So I sold mutual funds to wirehouse financial advisors. So having my planning background and CFP background, I was able to connect with their firms and learn more about what they did, and I knew more about their processes, and it made the mutual fund offer easier because I was able to give them a story that they could share with their clients. And so that was fun. And I also spent 2 years as a co-investment manager at a family office. So that was really cool because I was a jack of all trades there. So I had to be part of the business operations, which was investigating different platforms that was best for the firm, managing the investments at the firm level, and then client interfacing as well, so doing planning as well. So that was probably my favorite job. I did that in Knoxville, Tennessee. So that's me in a nutshell. And currently, I'm just trying to build out my practice, my virtual financial planning practice as well.
So I noticed that you are building a virtual financial planning website. I've been on your website. It's fantastic how you built it. Better than a lot of the other ones that I've seen. Okay. On it, we get to see what you do, your development, and we saw that you are the world's greatest uncle as well.
Still that. My niece is 11, so as she gets older and become a teenager, maybe I'll become a less world's best uncle.
It's phenomenal. Do you mind going through the process of how you developed that website and what got you to do that?
Well, so with the website, thank you for that, for the kind words, and it was intentional to make that website like that, which is to really connect with the person that's browsing the website. I wanted the person that's browsing the website to find themselves in the website, and I wanted to tell a story. It's like, okay, if you come to this website and you have a question that brought you to investigating financial planners, did that question pop up, or did it come up to your head when you went to the website? For instance, would I find value in a financial planning relationship? What do I want to find in my financial planner? So that's a question, right? Because you want to investigate the relationship.
Right.
Do I value my time, and will I value that transferring that time as far as finances are concerned, and getting time back when it's concerned with my family and the things I just like to do? So those are just questions, and I've kind of shaped those questions and put them on the website, so a person can say, oh yeah, this is why I'm here. And also, it was also intentional when I say find yourself, which is I wanted to connect with many different backgrounds, genders, stage of life cycle, whether you're a beginning saver, in the middle of your life cycle, or when you're starting retirement. And many people like niches, and if I was to carve out a niche, it would be corporate workers. It doesn't necessarily have to be C-suite, but those middle to upper America, they have household incomes of 100 to 250,000 as a household, even above, right? and those folks that have assets in an area of, say, 1 million, as you've accumulated through life. Okay, so corporate workers and also small business owners. However, my niche, and this is my contribution to the niche conversation, which is mindset. And you saw that on the website.
I did see that on the website, and I was about to bring it up, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's the mindset. So who do I work with, and it's on there on the website. Who do we work with as Concurrent Financial Planning? Which is, you have to have the willingness to begin the process. All right, because financial planning is a process, and any life goal that you set, you have to have a plan. Okay, and you have to have willingness to commit. And I mentioned assets just a minute ago, and in our profession we have the AUM model that's slowly kind of going away, depending on how you structure your business. Now it's a lot of hourly retainer fees, and also just a strict fee at the beginning, paying for the advice. But some of our platforms are still based on assets. However, you need time to build assets. And some people don't have the assets, but they have the income. So it's who we work with, and I took the word with and did this. So willingness, and then the income, and then so that's the I, and then the T is, do you find value in transferring your time or transferring your trust to an advisor? And the benefit of that is transferring trust to an advisor or planner is that what you gain back. Okay, it's okay. Well, there's a reason why a client wanted to seek out a relationship in the first place. There's a reason why they're browsing the website. Me among many, right? So they're trying to find somebody they can trust and transfer that trust to. And the benefit is they get back time that they can spend pursuing their life goals. And then the H is healing. This is a place that the original name of the firm is Concurrent Financial Planning Center. Okay. And I took the center off just because, well, it's still in my legal language, but just to make it shorter for website and just for practical purposes. But the word center I thought was important, because when you see a center like a health center, so it's a place of healing and health. So I would like for people to come and heal their financial behaviors and practice healthy financial behaviors. So that's the mindset. So who we work with, willingness, income, transfer trust, and health and healing. So that's my niche.
That's your niche. So that leads me to saying, how did you get to this mindset? What was the development in your lifetime that you said, I would like to work with small business owners to entrepreneurs to these business CEOs?
Well, you go with Well, two things. One, with the small business owners, I love being a part of someone's dream. Okay, so the question is what brought them to doing what they do as business owners? It started out as a dream, and they pursued it. So that company is a part of them and part of their family as well, because you have to have a supportive household in order to have, it's one of the ingredients of having a successful business, right? So everybody's on board. And I also like learning about what other people do well. That's why when I look at entertainers or speakers or professors or whatever it may be, chefs, corporate workers, it simply doesn't matter. What do you do well? I like learning about that. And with business owners, they picked up something that they do well and made it into a craft. So I just like seeing people in their own element, and that's what businesses are. They've picked something that it's a dream, they're good at, and I want to learn more about that. So and again, it's a filter into the household that business provides for the household. I want to see how that all integrates. So that's with the small business. I just like the varied stories. All right, everybody's unique. the story about the dream, about what they do well, how they got there, and how we can help at the end of the day. So that's where I come in, or planners come in, is how do we help them continue pursuing their dream, continue building and growing their household, and giving them back time so they can do what they do well. Corporate America, that's where I started. I mean, so I've been in corporate America for a long time. Matter of fact, my second job was 20 years ago as a bank teller, and I appreciate that very much because it's particularly in retail, because you're developing skills in service, whether it be retail therapy, shopping, or coming, even food services, if you do it right. I was walking to a fast food place the other day, and now there's a big difference between the red chicken, Chick-fil-A, and other people, right?
Right.
Again, there's a service model, Costco. It's a difference between that and other stores. You go in there and the culture is set. Chobani yogurt, it's more of an employees first. If you take care of your employees and the culture is set, then the customers are going to be taken care of.
Right.
It's not really a reverse. Some people, for many years, people got that wrong. But as far as the corporate environment, that's where I started. So, and I started way back then. So I know how you could the progress, or the ladder of growth, and it takes time. But at each different stage, the life cycle stage, corporate job or small bit or entrepreneur, either one, but you're advancing at different paces or different risks. But with corporate, I'm familiar with that. So you go with what you know. I have a friend, he's a financial planner, and I have a lot of financial planner friends.
You are a financial planner.
Right. and his niche is gamers, game boarders across the nation. It's a huge. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is,
but it's a huge thing, kind of like Comic-Con, right? And so he tours those areas as well. So there's a lot of festivals across the country, and he's been a board gamer for years. And he said, okay, well, when I start my niche or my firm, that's where I'm going to serve. So to your question, is what brought me to small business owners and it's just what I know. So I'm familiar with that, so I can serve it well.
So it is what you knew. Mm-hmm. It is what you went into. What would you give advice to those who are looking for their niche or who are wanting to open their own firm? What advice would you recommend for them?
Okay, I'm going to start off with some doom and gloom.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Starting off a firm is a risk, or starting out a business is a risk anyway. But if you take a risk, you could get a lot of reward. So I don't want to scare people off, but I'm a realist, and I deal with reality, and I'm practical. So I don't like to kill dreams because I'm living one.
Right.
So, but I also just like to offer all the details or offer all the input that I can, because somebody offered that to me, and that was just me being willing to listen to others, and that's key as well. So starting your own anything, or just making a life decision, be open to information and being led or guided until you get on your feet. But yeah, a lot of businesses fail. I think it's 85 or 90% in the first 3 years.
Correct.
And then for the next 5 years, it's upwards to 60 or 70%. So you're still not out of the wheelhouse or out of the doghouse yet, right? So that's time. And I think the trend words, right? They're so overused. Like, have a passion for what you do. But you have to enjoy and almost be willing to. Now, this is a cliche. You almost have to be willing to do it for free, right, and be happy to do it, because you're going to be doing it for free for
a while.
for a while, and so for your business to break even, right? So So having that in mind, okay, are you willing to sacrifice that up front so you can? And then so another old adage cliche. I was watching a TV show that said, "Why do you use so many cliches?" He said, "They're just cliches." He said, "The reason why they're cliches is because they work." So another one is to stay the course. Have the know the sacrifice up front. Do what you want to do. Do what you have to do what you want to do. Okay, and know that sacrifice up front, and also having conviction in what you are doing. Okay, because there's going to be a couple of times, where you're the only one, you or your significant other or your family, and maybe even them sometimes. You're the only one that's going to have that hope and that conviction and that belief, and you're going to need it. Okay, so pursue, seek out others that have been successful, get feedback, be open to that feedback, know the sacrifice going in, and then here's another thing too. Being an entrepreneur, I know that's the trend thing to do. Work for yourself, and build wealth. Ignore the big man. No, I don't want to work for the man. No, that's misguided. I believe. First of all, the statistics. I mean, the numbers. It's just not for everyone, and it's not supposed to be. No. It's not supposed to be. So, households or individuals need to learn what they're best at. What is the best environment for them. Okay, and business ownership may not be, with every business there are employees. There's a team. You're a part of a team, whether you're the leading part of the team or the contributing part of the team. But it is a team, so that's also a mindset. I had somebody the other day tell me, well, I said, "What's your name?" And she said, Jill. All right, and Jill said, "Oh, I just work here." I said, well, no, there's no just anything. You do work here because you provide value, no matter what it is. So you have to have that believability. You work for yourself at all times, period, because you're trying to maximize yourself daily. Okay, so it goes back to. All this goes back to, and there's little nuggets going in there about why you started a business. Not for everyone. You got to know the risk. You have to have conviction. All right. You have to know the sacrifice. You have to stick to it. Grit is a trend word now. All of that. And then it's not for everyone. And if you know yourself, do something different, and do something different fast. Okay. So that's a little bit about starting your own business. And here's I'll leave this subject with this, which is. Particularly with financial planning, I do a lot of mentorship and coaching and whatnot when people ask me. Okay, everybody does. Nobody likes unsolicited advice, but every now and again I give some unsolicited advice. but I wouldn't say most, because I don't want to just make it seem more than what it is. But in my experiences, people that have businesses, all right, they learned somewhere else first. They just did. They went and worked for the man. Use those resources. Get that extra human capital training for free. College education. They got programs at corporate America. They have scale. You get to learn a whole bunch there while you're getting paid. Okay, so it's a learning ground. Hone your craft there, and then shape it and customize it, and then go somewhere. What else is important about corporate America and working for the man? Health benefits.
That's a whole other kind of worms.
Yes. Stability, right? So go there and build a piggy bank, so to speak, a side pocket, some savings, so you can set yourself up for a higher probability of success when you do open your practice or do what you do. So I think there's a lot of advantages to working for the man first, and then going out and open your practice, whatever field it may be. So,
well, I appreciate the words. And so with that, I have a few more questions. Hopefully I can just condense it down to two.
Sure.
The next one might be kind of like a rocket question. and it is, do you consider yourself an entrepreneur, and do you consider yourself somebody who is trailblazing through the financial planning field?
I guess I don't know what the camera's saying when I'm blushing, but you know, I know a few trailblazers, so to speak, and I continue to learn from them. And one thing I've learned about trailblazers, I'll spare the name drop because the people that know they know who they are in my life, who's inspired me and continue to inspire, because there are trailblazers in this profession currently that I do have special relationships with. And what I've learned about trailblazers, or just with mentors, just in life, or people that inspire you, is they want to build the next trailblazers. They want to find competent people to pass the torch or partner with. Okay, so with all that input and just my experiences, I've been I appreciate the words. So I've been labeled a trailblazer in some regards. Being a practitioner academician at the same time, I'll hopefully graduate with my PhD in May of 2020. My diverse backgrounds in financial services, going from wholesaler to financial planner to managing money to doing all, so having a diverse career in that regard and different experiences, and it's just my vision that I offer, you know, to the profession, just my contribution. That's my contribution. So all that said, the trailblazers before me that are with me right now, because I'm partnering with some of them, they've given me the opportunity to accept the word trailblazer, and my job now is to maximize it and maximize my self-interest. Everybody has, you got to do for self so you can help others. It's the whole gap, the air mask deal on the airplane, right? They tell you straight up, it's like, hey, put your mask on first so you can help others, because if you don't have any air, you're dead. You can't help anybody. So I'm trying to leverage those opportunities, but at the same time do the same thing that trailblazers before me or with me did for me, or doing for me, both at the same time, and I'm going to do for others. So that's the whole trailblazing thing. I appreciate it, but also with those labels or kind words, or what comes with great responsibility, and with that, people that are bestowed those type of labels have to accept that responsibility and do what they're supposed to do with it. Okay, maximize themselves and help maximize others. So that's what the whole trailblazing thing about it was. And what was the other one?
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
An entrepreneur. I'm a beginning entrepreneur. I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit because it's all about knowing your value. And one thing, sometimes working for the man, although it has its advantages, it has its disadvantages, right? And one disadvantage is particularly for underrepresented groups, within the country, there could be a glass ceiling, and there's favoritism everywhere and whatnot. But however, if you know your value, then why remain somewhere that doesn't hold any value for you, or less value than you have proven. It's not an opinion. It's not subjectivity. If you have the talent and the numbers and all that to back it up, and somebody's not valuing that, then it's like, okay, well, then I need to go do it for myself. And I was fortunate with that opportunity a few years ago to say, okay, I think I've reached a glass ceiling in corporate America. Let me go pursue a dream, which is this PhD in financial planning, and let me pursue a dream with opening up a practice. Matter of fact, my grandfather, he inspired me to open the practice, because he passed away a couple years ago, but he said, I said, Granddad, I'm going to open up my practice finally. He goes, well, I was waiting for one of you jokers to open up a business. So my dad's a great barbecuer, so he's been waiting on him to open up a practice or a business. So my sister, she's a photographer and a great she makes great crafts and an event planner. So she opened her own business. So we're right before my granddaddy passed, he got to see us open our own businesses. But I do see myself as an entrepreneur now, and I'm also learning so I've been able to connect with small business owners, but now as a true business owner, I'm respecting them even more because of being in the trenches, so the business trenches, so to speak. So yes, I consider myself an entrepreneur, and the reason why is because, and we were just talking this before we started the podcast, which is there's going to be failures. You just got to accept that.
Right.
All right. But those are learning experiences. Quick. And so since my first year and a half in, I've been living some of these shortfalls and pitfalls and failure, but they've all been learning experiences and capital fundraising and all that. So yes, I consider myself an entrepreneur through the experiences. There's one thing to talk about it and connect with it. There's another, there's something to be said to be actually doing it. So through the action, yes. And those things that I shared with you earlier, I have that conviction. So I would stick with it.
Okay. So thank you for everything that you shared with us, your knowledge. And so as we come close, this is my final question.
Okay.
But you spoke about your mindset. You spoke about what it takes to open your own business and your journey along this way. Let's talk about the F word.
Okay.
That is fiduciary.
Okay, fiduciary. So my thought process about fiduciary, Aaron, is it shouldn't be that hard.
But it is.
Yes, it shouldn't be that hard. It's kind of like disclosure documents, right?
Right.
There's a lot of research about what disclosure actually does, but some of it's good, some of it's bad. Because you can give somebody a document all day. Do they read it? And actually, whose backside is that cover at the end of the day? If somebody hands you a disclosure agreement, well, it doesn't. Sometimes it protects the consumer, but actually, it's a CYA for the person that's giving the disclosure. Because they'd be like, it was in the document. Didn't you read it? And that's why the credit card disclosures now are, because they're like, didn't you read it? Because you make it in small print.
Right.
Now it's in bigger print. Times New Roman like 45, and they still don't read it. So it's give and take where disclosures are. But from a small business mindset or entrepreneur mindset, or even from a business mindset, period, which is some people don't like regulation. It's like, oh, more documents that we have to, it's adding more costs to the okay, not really. All right, print up the document and give it.
Right.
It's really, I understand you have to make processes and all that. I get that. But if I'm truly having the best interest of the client first at all times, I really don't care what's required of me as far as disclosure or added processes or whatnot. I'm going to build that into and that's what processes are for anyway. You come up with a process in order to streamline it. Okay, yes, it's going to provide a hiccup a little bit like the news, the CFP code and standards. You got to have a confidentiality and privacy policy. You have to have it written, all that, and then you have to disclose it and all that. So yes, up front, yes. But is that for the best interest of the client? Absolutely. So just do it. I mean, it really shouldn't be an issue. I think that being a fiduciary should, it lies in personal and professional integrity. Again, it shouldn't be that hard. Why is it hard to not have the client's best interest, not interest, but best interest first at all times? It's just like we were talking about earlier about some of the care. Oh, it was the culture with Costco and Chobani and all that, taking care of the employees. It's kind of like Burger King used to say, have it your way, and they're taking care of the customers first. No. All right, take care of the people that are going to give the service. All right, it takes care of itself. If you want to take care of the client, you skipped over the very people that are supposed to be serving them in the first place. It doesn't make any sense. All right, take care of the people that are going to give the service, and that will, then the client will be taken care of. Same thing here with fiduciary. Have that mindset first, and you'll get the clients. I mean, it will pay. Word of mouth, trust. Trust is our greatest asset. Trust is our greatest asset. So why wouldn't you do that to the highest level of integrity and professionalism, and have the client's interest first at all times? If you think about yourself first, and you're trying to make maybe a short-term profit or cut corners, or it doesn't necessarily have to do a profit mindset. It can just say, okay, I'm just not going to do this part of the process. Okay, all right, that's fine, but that's going to show up later. That may have saved you a little bit of time in the short term, but it didn't gain anything for you in the long term. All right, just doing things right. A lot of things fall into the right because many people have different interpretations of the word right, but you know what right is. Some people try to say, well, to me, this is right. It's like, no, you know what right is. And the right thing to do is to have the client's best interest first, and those are key words, at all times. No matter what the disclosures or time it takes in order to do that. All right, even in the short and medium and long run, you get them all. If you do it another way, you're just satisfying the short term. If you act as a fiduciary the right way, you get all of them, short, mid, and long term. So just like Nike says, just do it. It's better in the long run for everyone.
All right. Well, thank you, Preston, for coming on.
Yeah.
I hope to have you in future episodes.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite. Hope to be back.
Hey everybody, that was Preston Cherry. Now, if you'd like to get in contact with him, you can go to concurrentfp.com and email him and send him a few questions. If you would like to go through the financial process with him, you can also navigate through the website and see what he has to offer. Now, if you are watching on YouTube, I would like you guys to take the time and hit that sub and like button. You can also turn on the bell notifications so you can receive an update when I release another episode. If you are listening through the podcast, I'd like to thank you, and make sure you also hit that sub button so you can also get the latest news. Now, I'm your host, Aaron De La Cruz, signing off.